was the most defining moment of your life, Carlos? And again, it can be more than one, personal and professional.
That one's easy. You know, from birth to 6 years old, I always tell the story that we had anything and everything we wanted, and we're living in Central America at that point. To be more specific, it was El Salvador.
Okay.
And they were going through a revolution at that point. They were going through a civil war. And there was a moment in time when I was 6 years old, and I remember this was around 2 a.m., Kirt, and I was sleeping, and so was the whole family.
Okay.
At this point, I was in my own bedroom and just at peace and sleeping, and I hear this loud knocks everywhere. And so that woke me up, and then I see my mother and my 3 siblings rushing into the room, and I could see there's fear there. For the first time, I could see that my family had fear, and I could feel their heartbeats, you know, and I knew that something wasn't quite right, and my mother was praying, and she has told us to get down on the floor and to not move. And I was 6 years old, so somewhere along the way I fell asleep, and I don't think they ever went to sleep. You know, so so that lasted for 30 minutes. I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, that was the defining moment for me, because when I woke up, the sun is the thing that woke me up, and I looked into the corridor. My door was open, and I see my mother's crucifix on the corridor, and but then not only that, but I see a bunch of holes. And it turns out there's bullet, and then I start to look all over, and there's bullet holes all over the house. So somebody was trying to get rid of the family. Luckily, we all survived, and my father was away in business. He was not lucky enough, I tell people, to be in that moment with us, because that was the defining moment for me. And as I was walking to the crucifix, I saw a vision. Okay. And I always tell this story. I said, this is a vision of who I believe is our creator, God, Jesus, you know, and it was just peaceful and love. So I was walking there until I heard my mother talking to my father, and I turned around, and then the vision was gone, but I could, you know, the crucifix was perfectly sound. There were no bullet holes on it. It was awesome. I call that my spiritual awakening. And from there, it was almost like a calling. That's where my calling came from. That's where God, Jesus just said, oh, you're going to be a leader, and you're going to suffer a great deal, because we all suffer, but you're going to suffer along the way. And suffer we did. From 0 to 6, I mean, we had everything and anything we wanted. At 6, my mother was telling my father, hey, I have a sister in Houston, Texas, and we're leaving. We're not staying and asking questions. Wow. And so she made the trek with 4 kids. He's stuck behind. So he stayed. And he stayed and took care of his businesses. And people ask me, was that hard on me? I said, I never looked at it. I always paid attention to my mother. And my mother was my hero, and is my hero. Right. And I remember making that trek from Central America all the way to Houston, Texas. And I remember specific points where my mother just showed great leadership. She had to make that trek. She had to understand how to talk to people, how to get through different checkpoints, and all that. And it was just marvelous to watch her in action and see what compassion looks like, because she gave up everything. She was a great leader, a great businesswoman in her own right, and she had to give all that up now and come to the U.S. so that we could have a better life.